to come back in the room. Well, pay the penalty. Ty Joe, I'm surprised you came back after that. So what kind of music do you listen to? I need to find out from all my viewers what music they listen to so I can be careful and not put anything too strange on. Taiji, what kind of music are you open to? I know Zoe will be back. She promised. Taija, says you're back on. What type of music are you open to? Country, man. Country and pop. Oh, you're killing me. It's like the opposite of music, although I know some of the more folksy country stuff, the old style stuff has some music to it, but with the pop, you're just killing me. I mean, that is just like polished money-making cash registers to me. I mean, I knew the music I just played you before had enough noise to it that it kind of took any musical semblance out of it. So you never listened to any classic rock at all? Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Kansas? Oh, I'm showing my age, aren't I? You probably don't even know the groups I'm talking about. So you do like rock. Alright, so answer me this question. Do you like Jimi Hendrix? Because, I mean, he knows how to play guitar even if some of his stuff's out there. Do you like Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin, or Jimi Hendrix, the Purple Haze guitar player? You know who I'm talking about? Kansas is awesome, right? If you like Kansas, you probably like Deep Purple. I'm kind of fishing to see if what's going on, Corleone? I'm kind of fishing to see if you like guitar because I did like a Hendrix song, not too much. Really, not even the acoustic stuff. So look, I'm gonna play you a few minutes of me as Hendrix. It's the closest I came to being able to play my song. Make my own type of music based on being Jimi Hendrix and kind of getting my memory back of playing guitar. So as far as I'm concerned, it's like you're hearing a song by Jimi Hendrix that nobody has ever heard before because I played it and made it, and so nobody's ever heard it before. Let me see how long the song is. I don't have to play the whole thing for sure. So the song is like about 15 minutes, so I'm not going to play 15 minutes of song, but you might find it interesting for a few minutes. So look, I played this song specifically to remind myself that I am Jimi Hendrix, and also to alter my state of consciousness to the most positive, high level experience. So basically, the longer I played the music, the more connected I felt to the source of reality. So I know at some point playing this song, I felt like I connected to God. And I will play like 2 or 3 minutes of it for you. And if you like it after 2 minutes, type 1 in the chat. And if you don't like it or you don't want to hear anymore, type 2. So 1 if you like it. It's totally different than what I played before. It's me playing guitar, but I'm using keyboards because I can't play anymore. Alright, so type 1 if you like it. I'm going to play it from the beginning, and I'll give you like a minute or two of it. And if you don't type 1 within a minute or two, I'm going to stop it right away. I don't know how well you can hear it even. What's going on, Lou Bug? Alright, that's all you're getting because I don't know if you love it or hate it or just don't care. How you doing tonight, Lou Bug? Or did you already leave? Just in and out, man. Mystics. So you actually don't like, well, I guess then that's good and bad because the whole point of it was to be mystic and you don't like mystics, so the bad is you don't like it. But the good is you recognize it's mystic, so anybody who's into mystic music will probably be into it. Alright, then I just gotta find people who are into that. No problem. Interesting. I wonder why your mind doesn't like mystic. To me, mystic has got such a positive connotation. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mean, I told you before, music saved my life, and that's part of it. The music you heard is part of me channeling, a higher level of energy, like connecting to God. So, I mean, all my life, I kind of called myself an atheist and had people, like, really picking on me for calling myself an atheist and saying I don't believe in God. And it's just an irony that the music I did create that did connect me to God, now I'm going to have people coming in saying they don't like it because it's too mystic. I just think that's kind of funny. 20 years of people getting pissed at me because I'm an atheist and don't believe in God. And 20 years later, I play music when I did connect to God, and people are like, what's that? It sounds too mystic. It's just kind of funny. Can you imagine someone just having people pick on you for years and years for being an atheist or whatever, and then the moment you change your mind or look the other way of looking at it, you get killed for it? It's just funny. Gab Faith. Is it like everyone is like got the doggy on their face? And then it makes me feel like it's, every time I see it that it's the same person coming in the room and leaving. What's going on, Ribbit? How y'all doing tonight? So, Taijo, what does mystic mean to you? For me, all I can imagine is positive things of it because it saved my life. What's negative about that to you? To me, mystic may mean something totally different than what you think by it. Indifferent. Okay, so it doesn't like, it's not, when you listen to it, it's not like something that uh, makes you feel like, you want to tear your head off or something. It's not like a negative experience. It just doesn't touch you at all. Interesting. I have to think about that. So, what are we talking about tonight? Now that I realize I can't play my music because it would drive people wacko insane. At least I didn't make you hear me sing. Music is like creativity. Don't listen to music to think. I mean, for me, mystic is like meditating and turning off your thoughts. Um, and I admit, I was trying to play it with some skill because I'm not usually able to do that. And Ribbit collects nose hairs from celebrities, so that's the important thing. Um, regardless of what type of music you like, if you have a collection of nose hairs from celebrities, then it doesn't really matter, right? We have, Bailey 4. I've had 3 different Baileys come in the room, so that's a little bit confusing to me. Isn't it Bailey 4 the one that was like trolling me several nights ago? You found out who I was talking about. What do you mean who I was talking about? I'm trying to remember the last conversation we had. Who did you find that I was talking about? B-Man. Okay. So you didn't even know who B-Man was. That's pretty funny. What do you think of B-Man's broadcast? Hey, peanut sauce fruit. Hey, what happened to your Q-Bert? Didn't you used to have Q-Bert on your name? Oh, now I miss my Q-Bert. What'd you think, Bailey? Was B-Man chill or what? That's why I got him on my chill page. He was in Mike's guesting. Okay, so he was just guesting. Well, he's still B-Man, even when he's guesting. He didn't talk too much. I mean, he is like so chill. It's just like, I don't know. Usually he's just drinking or whatever, and I'm not really into the drinking part, but I like him as a person. Was he rude? Oh, he didn't talk to you at all. So he just ignored you? You should have trolled him. He loves being trolled. Wanda, how you doing tonight? He ignored you when you're trolling him? Man, you should have trolled him harder. He told me he likes to roast people. Y'all should have had a lay down battle. You should have. Yeah, exactly. Should have guessed it. I haven't talked to B-Man for a while. I need to ask him why he keeps coming in as Bailey 4 and trolling me. See what he says. So what are we talking about tonight? I was, hey, 4 Seymour. I was, the last person I guested with was, I think her name is Caroline. You applied? What'd you apply for? What I have in my bathroom cabinet? I have, celebrity nose hairs. Why? A vet clinic. Oh, that's cool. So you like to work with animals? So now I'm just like completely curious on what type of nose hairs Ribbit has collected. Like, what celebrities, and how did Ribbit get nose hairs? That's what I want to know. Oh, a vet. That's awesome. So you're gonna take care of animals. That's Most people are like got such an attitude towards animals, or they just want to kill them or eat them or whatever. I decided to drink a bunch of Alka-Seltzer Plus just so I could breathe. I hope it doesn't burn my system out. So how does Ribbit get all these nose hairs from these celebrities? Who are these celebrities, and how does Ribbit get these nose hairs? And I'm not gonna be able to sleep till I know. I mean, if you're going to celebrities and just getting hair and just pulling something from their head, um, you might get away with it. You might not. I don't see how you're gonna do it. But nose hairs, how the hell do you get that? I mean, you can steal someone's brush if you want to get hair from their head. Yeah, it's just gonna keep bothering me now. They just give them to you. So who's in your collection, Ribbit? Because like now I just want to guest you and discuss nose hairs. I'm sure that we'll get like 100 viewers who just want to come watch us and listen on your whole story of this. We just like do a whole 20-minute guesting session on Ribbit and all the nose hairs you collect and who the celebrities are and why they're contributing and why you're collecting these, and what's your plan for the future. You can open up like a celebrity nose hair museum. Be interesting. How would you display them? I mean, you could just like have a bunch of empty display cases and nobody would even know. Taiju loves nose hairs. All right, let's guess Ribbit and see. We don't have to discuss the nose hairs. It's just cracking me up. We talk about whatever. Let's get Ribbit guesting. I'm inviting Ribbit. Well, there goes all my water. I hope there's water in here. How you doing?
Hello.
I want to see your nose hair collection.
I'm just kidding.
I was wondering if you're a kid or if you're gonna like pull out a bunch of jars.
Yeah, no, I just was trying to make a funny.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
pretty damn funny. That's why I kept going.
sometimes it gets so slow in the room, you gotta like lighten it up a little.
Yeah, that's why I guess
Like
because like this is
twice.
one funny person. I wanna talk to him.
Yes. Well, I don't actually collect nose
Yeah.
hairs.
Okay.
Although it would be interesting
Wouldn't it?
trying to get them.
Yeah, it was the fact that you specified it was from the nose because I was just like, well, she said she collected hairs. I'd be like, well, there's ways to get that, but from the nose, I was just like, how do you shake the hand with the celebrity, ask for their autograph, and then
Right?
at what point do you slip in and
I don't know if you've seen this skit that Jimmy Kimmel did, where he took a potato and all of One Direction signed that potato, put that potato on eBay or auction or whatever. That potato sold for like a lot of money just because One Direction wrote
here?
signed the
It
potato.
was glitching and freezing. Uh, Jimmy Kimmel did what with a potato?
He had all of One Direction, five guys potato, and then he put it on eBay.
So I got potato and I got eBay, and for some
One
reason
Direction.
the video's freezing.
Well, that sucks.
Okay, now we got it. It just keeps freezing. Now I got like the most ultimate pout frozen on my screen. It's like an award-winning pout. I wish somebody capture that pout if you got this frozen on your screen. Why is YouNow freezing my guest?
I know, it's not on my end.
It's not frozen? Okay, well, then I'm going to try and talk to you, and everybody will be able to hear you but me. So that
Well,
should
that
be interesting.
sucks. That's terrible.
All right, so what would you like to talk about tonight? Why Taiju wants to, like, marry one of us, or... Wait. Why are you saying, are either of you married? That's
I'm
like
not married.
Okay,
Maybe
it was just a
we can get
confusing
married.
question. Usually, like, somebody will ask, my guest, are you married or whatever? No, I'm not married.
Me neither.
You said, are either of you married, though? That's what confused me. It's just like, usually somebody asks one person or another. It's just unusual. It's like somebody going up to a guy and a girl sitting together and just going up to the girl and saying, are you single? And she's like, yeah, or whatever. And then he looks at the guy and goes, are you single? And if somebody did that to me, and so someone I was sitting next to, I'd be like, just wondering what the heck's going on. Oh, okay. Tiger, are you joking? Because that's pretty funny. That's funny. He said he's joking. He said he's bisexual. He's hitting on
Well,
both.
what is he joking about? The middle-aged part, I hope.
So Tiger, you saying that you're bisexual and that's real, but you don't really think we're middle aged. You're just like, you know, messing with us.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand. So Tiger's bisexual, but he just wanted to joke about the middle age thing. He's not completely straight.
No,
So,
he says he's completely straight.
oh no, he says he is completely straight. Okay, yeah, I was gonna. I'm glad I reread that because I was just like, what do you mean you're not completely straight? What does that mean? It's like I really only like girls, but is
I
that
don't
what it?
mind a little, you know what, every now
Yeah,
and
if
then.
somebody was saying they're not completely, I just think that's not what he said. But since I thought that's what he said, I thought that was funny as hell if somebody would say that. Can you
So that's
imagine somebody asking you, are you gay or straight? And the person says, I'm not completely straight.
yeah,
I'm not.
no, I'm sort of straight.
Yeah, I mean, even if someone said sort of, it's not as funny. If somebody said that, what's going on, Ernesto? If somebody said that, I would just like not be able to stop laughing. Is that really a living bird talking to me?
Oh
Wait,
yes.
is that bird looking? Oh, okay, it's on your hand. I thought for a second you had some sort of puppet you're making move, but that's really a live bird.
Yes, and he just pooped all over me, actually.
Oh, but that's a beautiful bird. He's
Yes,
uh he's
he's
bisexual with a
naked.
bird fetish.
He has a bird fetish. He likes to pull his feathers out.
He's got to stop. Look, Tiger, you're in a roll. I can't stop you from making these jokes because it's just too hilarious.
No, he is naked, and he likes to pick off his feathers and the feathers of other people too. But I'm trying
So
him. I just take him out.
if he can find a couple with a bird, and and he can use the feathers, I don't know. I'm not picturing the scene yet. Bisexual with a
Yeah,
bird.
had to separate them. Well, I don't know. I don't know. See, for two boy birds to get together doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's a problem. So what kind of bird is that? I'm like in love with your bird.
I think it's a conure.
Con
Conure.
Conure. I don't think I've ever heard that.
So what does spiritual anarchist mean?
Oh boy, we're gonna have to break that down again. I should know that it's gonna keep coming at me. Hey, what's going on, Otako? Otako? How do you say that name? I'm trying to learn people's names when it's like
Otako? I don't know.
Otako. I'm
Yes,
still.
that I have a problem too when I'm trying to read people's names and I'm like so embarrassed I can't even.
I'm so typically American. If it's not something like John or uh,
Are you like vanilla?
Jane, or, yeah, oh, now he's saying daddy. What is with the people that keep calling me daddy? I think B Man is like,
Dude, I can't stand that. It is so rude. I get called mom all the time.
yeah. Taiju says I need to make a page describing spiritual anarchists. I'm working on that actually.
I have no idea what my dogs are barking at. Oh, I got a bird on my
I'm not
back.
barking at the bird
I
because
think
the
I'm being
bird is
attacked
with
by the
you.
bird. He won't get off me. Ow. He's crawling up my back. Okay, hold
Is
on.
she my wife? Are you my wife? If you're
I
my
might
wife, I
be,
didn't know
I
that.
might we could see now they get married in Vegas by drive-through. Maybe we can get married by
Drive-through
video.
marriage.
Well, we can do a
She's not my
video.
wife yet, but we're talking about like a drive-through marriage. I never heard of that before. It's like, can I
Oh,
get some
yes,
fries and a wedding ring, and can you
exactly.
supersize the ring? Because I can't really afford the diamond, but if you supersize it, for 99 cents more, I will do it.
So there's a price to
Drive-through
some
wedding.
things. Oh yeah, a drive-through wedding. It's true.
So could you do the drive-through and you'd have the marriage and the divorce at the same time? You just, can you pull up to the first window and you're married, and you pull up to the second
Then
window and you're
yeah,
divorced?
if you want a divorce, you go to the second window. Yeah, they do. They do
Otherwise,
do
you just pull
divorces,
out. That's pretty
right?
great. So, are you my wife? Because I know I have some
I
memories.
could be your future wife.
Okay, we could work on that.
Yeah, and we can have a
Taiju's
video.
setting us up. Taiju's totally playing matchmaker here. I think Taiju wants us to get married because he's got that bisexual thing, and
I know, right?
yeah,
He has a daddy role.
and he just wants to keep both people together, so he can have easy access to two people and not have to go to two separate houses and all that.
Right? Well, actually, we are in two separate houses. We'll have to fix that.
That's true. I heard of long distance dating, but not long distance marriage. Does that
No,
work?
I've never heard of that either.
So now Taijo is taking it to the next level. He is saying, not only do we get married, but he wants to role play with us as his parents. I think that's. I was like really kind of going with his joke here, and then I was just like, is there a line? Did he just cross it?
Huh. Pretend to be my parents and we will role play.
I think he
Oh,
crossed the line. I'm not a
you
person to
know
really like.
why? Because little boys like to be spanked.
Oh, is that the role play he's going for?
I
Okay.
think he wants to be punished. See now,
Taiju, we're
I
gonna
have
have a quite
handcuffs.
interesting relationship here.
Here, I'll
Oh
pass it to you.
crap, Taiju, she's not kidding around.
That's
Do you
right.
still want to? Do you still want to go with this, Taiju? Because you asked for it, and look, she is not playing around at all. She is serious.
Yes. Do you see this pole right here behind me?
He says he's into this. What is behind you? I see pictures. I think. What else do I see?
A pole.
Not sure what I'm looking at.
It's a pole.
Is there a pole, like a dancer's pole?
Yes, it's
Racist.
my fitness pole. I
What?
was say I handcuff you to it.
Why is Taiju having racist fantasies? Where is this coming from? Is there something on your
What?
wall that I'm not getting?
I don't have anything black. I have Dan Marino all over my walls.
Oh God, Tiger, you're killing me. Just killing me. I'm like trying to keep a straight face, and he just keeps going deeper and deeper with this.
Oh, sugar mama, good luck.
I'm not even gonna repeat what you're saying anymore, Taijo. So, are you married? Because I'm like not gonna marry
No,
somebody and their husband too. That's just too much for me. Taijo probably wouldn't have a problem with it, but I would.
no, he seems to be very open-minded.
I mean, I try and be open minded, but the problem is fantasy and reality. A lot of things can work in fantasy to the point where you're just not considering consequences of anything. But reality, none of it works. Just in fantasy everything works, and in reality, just half of it doesn't
Well,
work at
that's
all.
pretty true. That's pretty. What's the word I want to say? Observant.
Hmm.
Or are you in an apartment?
Say what?
Are you in a house or an apartment?
Apartment?
One bedroom, two.
Did I just propose to you a few minutes ago? I'm losing. I don't even know. I'm losing complete control of the conversation.
Well, if you did, then I missed it too. It better be
Okay.
good.
All right, then I'm safe. Then I don't have to worry
Yes,
about
you
the
have to.
prenup.
I have to be utterly impressed.
I have no account to do any impressing of anyone. I'm completely Buddhist. I'm like I have like when I have an ego, I'm just pretending to have an ego, and sometimes I can pretend long enough to convince myself that it's there, and then I fall for it, and then the whole joke's on me when I snap out of it. Realize, oh, that was just a joke I was playing on myself. So I can't even like keep a sustainable ego around. So as far as like trying to impress somebody, I don't know, because
Like
impressing
trying
somebody
not
implies to
to.
me that you're not being yourself, that you're trying to like exaggerate certain traits of yourself.
True, but
You know,
sometimes doing little things like that makes the other person appreciate it all that much more. So even if you're a little flaky and cheesy, cheese is good. We like cheese.
okay, maybe you are a
Not
potato wife then. Maybe I'm making all these jokes and then the jokes on me. Okay, I'm sitting there
no, the
just
joke's not
yeah,
on you.
not on me. Well, I mean, if I'm gonna sit there and tease you and just make jokes because of Ty Joe, and I'm like, yeah, my future wife, blah blah blah, and then the irony would be if you were my future wife, then it'd be like something that you would just embarrass me about for the rest of my life.
No, I would probably make a very different wife.
I was waiting for you to say that you would make like the greatest wife or the worst wife or whatever. Instead, you just said a very different wife.
Unique, unique,
Unique.
unique. So, I
That
always do wonder what's in people's cabinets in their bathroom. So I was trying to get people to go to their bathroom to guest me and take something out of their bathroom in the cabinet. So I'm curious.
oh, is that why you're asking what's in the medicine cabinet?
I'm opening up a line of conversation here and curiosity. So I went into my cabinet, into my bathroom, and pulled
Mhm.
something out.
So, what is a unique wife? I'm like both curious and scared shitless.
Oh, there's never like a dull moment around here.
See,
So do you know
again,
what this is?
what is that? Tweezers?
Nope, but it was in my cabinet.
I don't know what that is.
I didn't think you would. That's what's very interesting about finding things in people's cabinets because you'll be like, what is this and what do you use it for?
It's a good question.
Does
It's like I
anybody
feel like I
know?
recognize it and I don't.
It pops your pimples.
How? That's why I don't recognize it.
Yeah, there was on TV. They were showing it. And as you get older or whatever, you're a stubborn one or something. So, yeah, that was an interesting thing I found in my cabinet.
Never be bored.
No, never be worried. Never moment. But you
Hmm.
said Buddhist. What does that mean? Does that mean like no sex,
Oh no, I haven't
no
taken
kinky stuff?
I haven't taken no vow of celibacy or anything like that.
That's
But never
good.
bored. That's intriguing.
Oh yes, I could probably entertain you while I'm
It's gonna
sleeping.
like latch onto my brain, and I'll just be like, a woman that's never boring.
No, I'm not. You can ask my friends.
So never boring meaning I have to sleep with one eye open because it's
No,
dangerous.
'cause like, yeah, that's a beer. Once I fall asleep and pass out, there's like no waking me. I'm like dead to the world. You can have a conversation with me, but I'm not awake.
Can have conversations. Hey, Tide, you set us up, and now you're hitting on my girl. What is up with you? First he tries to set us up, and the next thing you know, he's like trying to steal you. I see how you are, Taijo. What's going on, Tegan Marie? How are you doing tonight? I think I could possibly be talking to my future wife. I'm not sure. Where do you live?
I live in Colorado.
Colorado. Ribbit became a fan. Thank you for becoming a fan, Ribbit.
Of course, I'm going to become your fan.
Ribbit, Ribbit, Ribbit. So how did you fan me while you're guesting? It won't let me do nothing while I'm guesting. I don't think.
What do you mean?
If I touch any part of my screen while I'm guesting you, I think
Oh
it'll
yeah.
either tell me no or it'll try and drop it.
Oh, is it a touch screen computer?
Yeah.
I have one of
Okay.
those.
I got you. It's my little pretend
How
iPhone.
old is this Ty Joe?
How old are you, Taijo? What's going on, Zoe?
Old enough to drink. I like the name Zoe. 21, old enough to drink. I think in other countries it's like 18.
Oh, how old are you?
Me? I don't know.
because I'm like 90 years old. So
I never tell how old I am. Doesn't matter. And I like
no,
to keep.
I was asking because most of the people on here are in their 20s, and
It's very true. I've noticed this.
I am not in my 20s. So to sit there and like joke around about you being my future wife, if you're in my 20, I mean, if you're in your 20s, then um, probably
No,
before.
I have a feeling that I'm probably older than you.
Interesting. You don't look older than me. I'm trying to peek
No,
through the camera.
I'm
I'm like,
doing.
like, yeah,
I'm
if I look
doing my.
closely at the camera, it'll zoom in
Better check
automatically.
yourself.
You're built better than me, that's for damn sure.
Oh,
Ty just let you know that you're talking to like a very old man.
well, I'm not old, and I don't like the word old. I am very experienced and mature.
Well, see, like I said, most of the people on here are in their 20s, so if you're, you know, older than 25, you're an old person on here.
Well, actually, yeah, I guess if that's what you want to say.
I
You're
mean, that's
right,
how,
because when I was that age, I probably thought the same way.
yeah, I
And
know
then
I
you
did.
get here, and you're like, how old are you? I don't know. I stopped. I forgot. I forgot how old I am. I stopped counting.
Yeah, that's what it came on to me. Zoe's 16, so that's why I said there's a lot of people that are like underage on here, so I have to be really careful what I say to anybody.
Exactly. Well, my daughter's on here all the time with me, and she's only 10.
I mean, I'm past. I'm, you know,
16. Did you have like a party? I never had a sweet 16 party.
Zoe says she heard it all,
So is my child, so I can understand.
but I mean, I'm past 30, and I'm talking to people on here who could be 16 to 20, and so I have to
Well,
really
we can
watch
inspire
everything I
them.
say.
Like my daughter came into my room and she says, Mommy, why is there a dildo and handcuffs out here on the floor? And I was like, I don't know. That's a pretty good question.
Oh
And then
no,
but since she already knew what it was, I didn't have to
Tiger's trying
explain
to
to her.
out me. Tiger, that's
I
so wrong.
said, but yeah, well, when you
But
do propose to me, you have to do it with a song.
with a song,
I will
well,
come into your screen. We can do a duet. We can sing together.
see, and I would have you like completely until I start singing, and then boom, you'd be like gone so quickly it would give me whiplash.
You know what? I can't sing for shit, so, but I still will.
Well, see, I think I can sing, and then I know, what I think and what I know are two different things. So I'll sit there and sing like I can, and then I'll just get a rude awakening about it. I need 60. You need 60. What to get your license? Zoe does not like to party.
Well, that's good because I wouldn't want mine partying at 16 and ending up on MTV.
60 hours. You need 60 hours of what? They.
Drive time. She
I
got to
don't drive.
drive.
I don't have a license. I don't understand.
I don't drive. I don't have a license either. I have legs and a bus and a bike
That's
and my
against the
neighbors.
law. I was told I'm not even human for not driving. I've definitely been told by women that I'm not a real man if I don't have a license or whatever. I've been killed for it.
No, no,
60 hours.
I had a seizure while I was driving. I haven't driven since. Well, I have illegally. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell my mom. She'll
I
be
mean,
so mad at me.
I'm like legally blind in one eye and got a bad back. I just have no desire to learn to drive. Although I'm trying to change my mind on it. It's not working.
I have no desire either. Every time I get behind the wheel of a car, I just get arrested. So, but
So,
not like these.
uh, so it's not a deal breaker then if we actually develop something that's not like, oh well, I would have got with you, but you don't drive, so that means you're
No,
not a
if
real
you
man.
still lived at home with your parents or something, maybe. But I don't care that I don't drive either.
the only place I felt comfortable like approaching women, where I didn't worry about them asking about driving and getting into arguments to make me feel weird, was when I was visiting New York, because nobody drove there. So I actually walked up to when we start chatting and sat down with her, and I was just like waiting for her to ask me about driving and make me feel bad, and she didn't, and I was confused. I was just like, when's it gonna come up? When's she gonna start this shit? And then I realized, oh, I'm in New York. She's not gonna ask me that, and that kind of freaked me out. I was like, wow, that is every single woman I've talked to has made me feel like shit for it. And I was like, maybe I should move to New York.
Too expensive there.
Yeah, it is. Ty, you're drinking to the point where you're worried about DUI. That's bad. I'm gonna have to get Ty off the liquor.
No liquor. Liquor is bad, and I tell you, people either are like stupid or they're like mean.
Ty, we're gonna ground you. And no sugar, Zoe. Stop it.
Yeah, and no spankings either, cause he'll like it.
See, Ty, you're getting deprived of spankings because you're drinking too much.
Yes, make you stand in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm claustrophobic, so I don't think I would do well with handcuffs.
I don't like it. That's why I don't fly. I hate flying. I can't get in a plane. It's too small in there.
Oh, Taiju's already starting with the mom and dad stuff. Oh man, here we
Mm-hmm.
go. I'll see how it's going.
It's going. So I have a closet full of shoes.
I think we just
All
freaked
kinds.
Zoe out. Why are you so freaked out, Zoe? Taijo is seriously, but he's just kidding. Hey, you're stealing my lines, Taijo.
I know.
He's serious, but he's not serious. Is that a
I'm
doggy or a cat?
trying to.
I think that's a dog.
Well, I'm trying to find my roommate.
What's going
She has
on, Sarah?
the biggest I've ever seen in the world. And I'm always talking about her boobs.
All I heard was boo.
Oh wait, my children never came home.
Actually, a bird.
This is my living room here.
Why is Taiju talking about birds again? You're welcome. Taijo, I've lost complete track of your conversation. You're talking about birds, and then you said I'm welcome.
So this is my living room. The Great Dane right there.
That is a big dog.
$1,500.
I can tell that's a big dog. All Taiju.
Friday night out here.
I don't
I
think
lost
Taijo's
your sound.
Do you hear me? Is her picture frozen? Are we still connected? I might have to guest you again. Do I need to re-guest you? Frozen? Uh, Lost it. It dropped it by itself. That was an interesting conversation, I have to say. I got married, I got divorced, I had kids. That was quick. And now she can hear me. Alright, so you couldn't hear me when I was guesting you, but you can hear me now that it dropped you. I didn't drop you, by the way. That was my computer. and I don't get to play any more of my Jimi Hendrix song because nobody likes it. Well, I always thought that if I could play like Hendrix again, I would have a lot more fans. But now I realize there's very few people who like Hendrix. Vodka and root beer. So, there goes my Hendrix guitar. Not playing any tonight. I'll try not to think about it. It's like I miss playing it so much. And now I realize not too many people would be into it if I could play it. Alright, so it is... We've been broadcasting 45 minutes. 56 hours logged, so that means you only need to do about 4 more hours to get your license. Actually driven 40 of them. They log hours and that's how you get your license? I'm not sure what you're telling me. Did I fan Ribbit? Fan. Now I did. Did I fan Sarah? Interesting, Zoe. So Zoe, what should we talk about tonight? What do you think? I guested with one of the broadcasters. I think her name is Caroline, and we had like a very interesting conversation. 60 hours. Making hours up. Taijo. Taijo took the level down too far. So, Taijo, do you have a topic you want to talk about? So have you seen the Zoe? Have you seen the updates I did to the webpage? Terrible person. There's in no world can Zoe be a terrible person. What are you talking about, Zoe? Booze? Oh my God, Taijo. You're like obsessed with alcohol like Zoe's obsessed with sugar. Not working on the right stuff. So, I mean, if you have stuff you need to work on and you got lazy about it, then you just need to change that. I don't think that makes you a terrible person. Taijo admits that he is an alcoholic, and we're going to get Taijo off this alcoholism before it kills him. Lab stuff, driving, my script needs editing. So, Zoe, I hope I ain't messing with you, trying to get you to work with me on my webpage because you got so much stuff going on. I was going to ask you if you would join my meetup so I can put you as like a team leader on the meetup, which allows you to edit my pages and you can make suggestions. Okay, cool. So, Zoe, I need you to join my meetup. So, meetup is like a rubber. Do you say rubber, Taijo? Or are you talking about ribbit? Where did Ribbit go, by the way? Ribbit's still with us. Good. Okay. So Meetup is like it's an app, but it's also a website, and basically allows us to schedule meetings. So because it basically says, I'll be attending, I thought maybe, and it also has message boards, I thought it would work. So I set it up because it's quicker than setting up a message board. So it has its own message board. And on my web page, where it asks you to join, it now takes you to the meetup page where you can join there. And you sign in with your Facebook or your Google. And I'll make you a leader on my team. And then then if I need you to make announcements or something like that, you have complete control of it. Ribbit's on my guest list. So does Ribbit want to guest again? Zoe, are you waiting to be guested? I never had 2 guests waiting before. Zoe, let's guest you for a second. Oh, you're not ready to guest yet? Whoops. Cancel. Am I guesting you now?
I think so. Hi.
Okay, I never guested you before. And then when you said you weren't ready to guest, I tried to drop it and it didn't drop. Why is my guesting always freezing on my side? I heard other broadcasters saying that whoever they guest looks frozen to them, but all the other viewers can see them moving.
I don't know. My guesting usually doesn't work, so I'm surprised it did.
I can hear you. It just froze your image.
Alexa, stop.
Does Zoe look frozen to everybody in the room or just me? Oh, now you're moving.
I am? Cool.
I'm like in shock when YouNow works on the guesting.
3/8 was a Saturday. 3/10 was the Monday. I feel like such a terrible person baking these hours, but I also don't because I'm a pretty good driver, so.
Yeah, there we go. You'll get your license.
Oh yeah, that's not a question. I'll get it. I can park, so I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. They make the whole thing about parking. I think that's part of the reason why I never got it. But I just don't feel like I want a license, but then other times I want it, but I know I can't get it. I don't know. I got a bad back. I got bad eyesight. I know my life would be better if I had it, but
I mean, I live in a place where I have to have a driver's license.
Forging hours. I'm trying to follow Taijo's what he says sometimes, and I just get completely lost.
So in order to do this, maybe I can show you. I have to fill out this log, and it goes to the MVA is a bureau of the government, so I have to forge these forms to get my license.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yep. Technically committing a felony, but I've done this so many times before, I don't even care. So.
I've never even tried to get a license here because I just gave up on license.
You're an anarchist, dude.
So Taijo is saying because I'm an anarchist that therefore I should just drive without a license, basically, I guess.
Oh no, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. Horrible idea.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a smart idea.
I mean, both of my parents are personal injury lawyers, so they deal with car accidents for a living.
Right.
Don't drive without a license. Don't drive without insurance either. That's a terrible idea. Just don't do that.
Taijo, we're not going to do that.
Gosh, what's the month? It's June, right?
Yep. So now Taijo's defining anarchism for me. Are you sure you want to do that, Taijo? You're on the Spiritual Anarchist channel, and you're going to define anarchism. Are you sure you want to do that? Because you're calling me out. This may not be a wise decision to call out spiritual anarchism with anarchism.
So I have 4
I'm
more
glad
hours.
you're having fun, Taijo.
Having fun.
So, Zoe, what do you think? Will you still have time to work with me on videos and helping me get my website straight and stuff like that?
Hold on, I can't hear you. Say that again?
Oh, what I was asking, do you think you'll have time to work with me on my website and
Oh yeah, I definitely have time.
videos and stuff?
Yeah, no, I have time. I'm good.
And did I get your opinion? I got these live guests that I got really excited about, but I was afraid I would invite them in and only have 1 or 2 viewers and have to explain to them, why I was pushing so hard to get them on and then not be able to get any viewers. So unless I can promote it and make sure I have at least 20 viewers in, because that would bring more viewers in.
What I think is that you should do it as a video, videotape both sides of the conversation, and then convert it into
YouTube?
Not to YouTube necessarily, because YouTube it won't get monetized, but just put it on your website for people who code to your website. You can live stream it as well. Like if you do live stream it on YouTube, you can save it as a YouTube video later, which
Yeah,
would
doesn't
have a
YouTube
live stream
save
audience.
save the video? Because I hate to depend on YouTube saving my live stream and then it doesn't save it.
Well,
I'd be in
you,
trouble.
you can you can opt to save it after it's finished.
Okay.
Because like I see, I watch live streams after they're done because I hate the chats. Because they're just so not fun. You know what? I'm sorry, Brian. Could you
Yeah,
define?
Taijo, I know you have a different definition of me. You're like using the worst possible definition, which basically means we don't have laws, so we do whatever we want. And so basically, you know, it's sort of like what Christianity tries to do is they'll say, "Oh, you're an atheist. You must not have any rules. You must like go in and killing and raping people because that's why you want to be an atheist. You don't have to be responsible to anybody." I was like, "That's just ridiculous. We're all human beings, and Jewish people don't follow the Christian Bible either. But you're not going up to Jewish people and saying, "Oh, you just don't follow Jesus because you want to burn and rape and kill people." You're not saying that to Jewish people, and they don't believe in your Bible. But you say it to atheists because they don't believe in your Bible. And Christians, a lot of them just don't understand that's a double standard to be going up to atheists who don't believe in their Bible, don't believe in God, and say, "Oh, well, you're an atheist, so you must not follow any rules, so you must think it's okay to kill, lie, and cheat, steal." Some of them just don't have the brains to realize that if they say that, then it's the same as saying, "Oh, the Jewish person doesn't believe in Jesus Christ as their Savior. The Jewish person doesn't believe in the Christian Bible. So if you're saying anybody that doesn't believe in the Christian Bible goes around, kills, and murders, you're basically not just slamming atheists, you're slamming anybody of any religion that's not yours." And it's the same problem with anarchism, which is the assumption that that basically the only definition is if what's going on, Riley. That the only definition of anarchism is basically if society breaks down and the government breaks down and it gets overthrown or whatever. So basically, anytime there's any type of terrorist attack, then they just call it anarchism. So anytime there's too much violence or political upheaval, anytime things aren't going the way people want it, like that's anarchism. Just like people would go up to atheists and say, "Oh, what are you, a Satanist?" It's just a total misunderstanding of the word.
I love when people ask me if I'm a Satanist because honestly, Satanism isn't that bad of a religion if you read their text. It really isn't.
I mean, it's like a spoof. Like if you read the Satanic Bible, Anton LaVey or whatever, he kind of spoofs it. It's like
Yeah,
when I
it's
read
really
it, I
funny.
was like, "This isn't a real religion. This is just a guy being a smartass."
Yeah, it's really funny. So people are like, "Oh, you're a Satanist." I'm like, I wish I was a Satanist. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, the irony is Christianity basically defines Satanist and tries to scare people, saying that they like eat babies and all this stuff. And the thing is, first of all, if there was no Christianity, there'd be no Satanism. So you invented Satan. It's all your fault that Satan's even in people's heads. Second of all, you have practices based on the Jewish religion where they used to sacrifice animals and babies and had no problem doing it. And they even have a part where God brags about telling Abraham to sacrifice his son and basically tells him not to afterwards. But it basically shows that the Jewish religion has always said, basically that's just an exception to the rule where he said, "Nah, don't do it." The real rule was go ahead and do it. And then the Christianity-based religion saying, "Yeah, you know what? Let's base it on sacrifice, and we'll eat the flesh of Jesus and his blood." That's what the Catholics do in their sacrament or whatever it is, where they eat crackers and drink wine and they pretend like they're eating the flesh and blood. There's a cannibalist religion where they worship eating flesh and blood, and they're not even aware of how cannibalistic and vampiristic their religion is. And then they go around and say, "Well, that's Satanism." I'm like, "Well, then you're Satanist then, because that's what you practice every day."
I find it so funny because a lot of Christians haven't actually read the Satanist Bible, so they're like, "You're a Satanist." I'm like, but the Satanist Bible doesn't actually advocate what you think it does.
I mean, because the reason why he got away with the Satanic Bible, what's going on, Selena, is because there's no such thing as real Satanism. It was just a scare the Christian church tried to do, because they do things whenever they have people leaving them, and that was one of their tactics. Is okay, what happens? People are getting into Dungeons and Dragons, and when they got into Dungeons and Dragons, the people who didn't know anything about mythology before, or anything about Wicca, when they start playing Dungeons and Dragons, some of them start getting really curious and start finding out that Christianity was all made up, and like Christmas is like December 25th, and it's winter solstice. They found it's a pagan holiday. So basically, by getting curious about Dungeons and Dragons, people studied mythology and found out Christianity was also mythology, and so that was dangerous to Christianity for people to figure that out. And so they basically try to call the Dungeons and Dragons people Satanists. That's where they try to create the satanic panic. There's actually a book called Satanic Panic. Basically, it's a book about how Christians tried to scare people into thinking that there's some sort of big cult of a bunch of Satanists going around kidnapping children and shit. It's just ridiculous.
Sorry, I need to practice my mom's signature before I sign this.
What are you signing?
A government document.
Yeah, I used to when I used to work at a retail store, and I had people signing signatures, I'd get bored and I'd say, "Here, sign right here where it says I hereby give up my soul." I'd try to say it really quietly to make them think that I'm really trying to trick them. Like, yeah, just sign right here. It just says here I hereby give up my soul, whatever. Thank you. And they look at me like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, you heard that. I'm sorry."
Me too, honestly. That's pretty great. That is pretty great.
So I want you to join up the meetup group.
Yeah, if I can figure out how to do... Is that like a website?
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's meetup.com. And I have it linked on my webpage.
Here, I can just find it. Oh, it is a thing. Cool.
If you go to my webpage and hit join, it should go to meetup.
Yeah, I found it.
You told me to do the take action page and to change it, so I changed it up. And I have 2 links on it that go to the meetup. Did you pull it up?
My name.
Take action and join us. Yeah, join us. Write on the where it says take action. Join us. Join us takes you to the meetup.
I don't feel like giving out exactly where I am.
So yeah, here's how it works, Taijo. Meetups is like for people who have like similar interests, and they like music or whatever, or they want to all get together and discuss art. I'm using it so like when I guest somebody, if I get like a celebrity or physicist or philosopher or writer, and I get a special guest on here, I want to know how many people are going to come watch it. So I want my fans to join this, because then when I put up an event saying, "Hey, I'm going to have Cynthia Larson or Lawrence Krauss or Tanner Edis or Richard Dawkins or some famous philosopher, writer, or scientist," I can see how many people are going to be in my chat and come watch it. So it'll be an online event instead of like a place where we all get together and meet in person. That's how I'm trying to use it.
I can drive from... Let's do 9 a.m. What time do you think my parents would let me stay out until? Probably midnight.
Midnight? That's usually a good cutoff point for parents.
I mean, I never stay out that late anyways, just because I don't like people, so...
They'd be like, "Don't come home any later than 11 o'clock, and you get home at 11:45, and be like, "I tried." Okay, at least you weren't out to 1 or 2 a.m.
Nothing good happens after midnight, so as long as you're home by midnight, like, you're good.
Just don't leave like one slipper somewhere, and then they try and match you up with the other slipper.
That just... That whole story, I love what Disney did to it, because, like, there was no blood, there was no, Cinderella killed her first stepmother.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know. I know that these fairy tales, like the originals, are pretty horrible. But I don't think I've ever, like, really dug into it to see how horrible it was.
Oh, shit. I was supposed to sign that part.
Said what?
One of the signatures was supposed to be my own.
You said, "Oh, shit," and I was like, "What happened?"
There we go. I just made up a fake signature. It'll work.
Good job. So yeah, I do want you to join the meetup, and when you join it, I'm gonna like add you as like leadership on there, so that if I ever need it, like where me and you are both can do the same thing on it, because you have permissions to do things on the meetup that other people won't. Other people won't have permission to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see because for some reason it won't let me add this photo, so I'm hoping that it just means yeah. Okay, it's good. So can I find? Um,
Did you
is
join?
yours just spiritual anarchist on it?
Yeah. It
Oh, I
should
don't
say
need to
join.
do this. I
I
need this
hope people can join. I paid them a bunch of money. It wasn't free.
one. Is anything ever free anymore?
I mean, I really thought it was going to be free. I should have known better. I paid for a year of it.
See if I can find you.
There's a link on my page.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll make it easier than me having to search it.
Go to take action and hit join us.
Did you add take action on the top menu?
Yeah.
There it is. Yay!
You got it?
So much
Yeah, I
easier.
really
Is it
want you to
just join
join.
us?
What's that?
Oh, because you're Rally Metaphysics. Okay. Not spiritual anarchist.
Because once you join, I can add you as a leadership.
No, I don't care if it's within 5 miles. Work. Jesus Christ.
Is it working? Man, if they don't do their website right, I'm gonna call them because I paid money.
It's like having trouble loading. Hold on.
I'm gonna see if it says you joined.
Because I have so many tabs open. I don't need my script open right now.
I always do that shit, and then my whole computer crashes.
Usually I'm good at only having 6 tabs open at any one point, but like recently I've just been swamping myself with stupid projects. It's Raleigh Metaphysics.
I think it signed me out. That's kind of annoying.
Oh gosh, hold on. Are you spiritual teaching for metaphysical shift? No, you're not. I don't see
It
it.
should say Spiritual Anarchist TV. And it should be under Raleigh Metaphysics. Like, I had a link right on my webpage.
It didn't work.
The link didn't work? We were, like, working on my webpage, and suddenly I lost all my viewers. What's going on, Taijo?
The meetup
still
you're
didn't tell-
looking for doesn't exist.
It's saying I don't exist now? I paid them money. I'm gonna get in a fight with them.
Raleigh Metaphysics.
Yeah, that's it.
Meetup. But I don't need to be within. I'm just gonna look up Spiritual Anarchist TV. TC. Ah.
Did you find out? Like, yeah, there's no way that anybody else is using my name. At least not on here. What's going on, Riley? How you doing tonight? Did Riley leave? Yeah, I'm going way back in time. I'm saying hi to non-existent people. Tide, are you still here?
Oh,
Tide's
not
talking.
at the end of Raleigh. Okay, Spiritual Anarchist doesn't exist in Raleigh, but
That's crazy.
Physics will.
Taijo, I'm not trying to ignore you. I didn't realize. I thought that she could get to my webpage and we'd have this done in like less than a minute. Okay, so am I signed in or not?
It's just not. I'm like, am I doing this wrong or something? I'm so confused.
I'm doing a search just to see if I can find myself on here.
Is it called Metaphysical Meetup?
Yep.
Maybe this is it. Nope, that's in Florida.
Spiritual Anarchist TV was not approved. What do you mean was not approved? Did they take my money? Oh, there's gonna be a damn fight. They better give me my money back then. They took like $60 from me and then told me I can't have my meetup.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
probably have.
it was there the other night, and I didn't know that I had to get approval from these little freaks. They are mofos, man.
Well, I can just use my dad's signature on this.
We reviewed your group, and it isn't a fit up for meetups. So they blocked my ass out because I had the word anarchist in my fucking title. What cocksuckers.
Maybe just do it underneath your name. Like your real name.
What's that?
Do it underneath your real name.
I bet you $1 million that they disapproved it because I put the word anarchist in it.
Probably.
What a-hole.
That's the weird whole thing about censorship nowadays. People just don't like words anymore.
They're violating my First Amendment right. They violate our rights because I should like sue them and take them to court, and I'm not going to. That's how they violate our rights because nobody's got the time or money. I probably got the time and money, and I still won't do it. What a-holes.
What page
Now I want to know what. Now I want to know how they made the decision. I think they made the decision 100% based on that I had the word anarchist in the title.
Okay. I have this done, except for my license number, which I can just do really quickly in a minute. Just gonna staple it.
That makes me mad. When I put my credit card on there and charged money on it, they didn't say that wasn't approved.
Of course they didn't. It's a company. They want their money.
So they steal my money, but they won't let me actually use the actual what I paid for.
Alright. I will be right back in like 2 minutes. I gotta go grab my permit so I can write down the number.
Alright. I'm looking up on why they ditched me. Your group is not approved to become a meetup. Now I have to sit there and copy word for word what this is and why I got disapproved.
Driver's license number.
Community guidelines. That's what I want to find out. After your meetup group is approved, we announce it to local members. When a meetup group content is spammy or inappropriate in violation of our terms of community guidelines. Do your community guidelines say I don't have freedom of speech? Schenck versus U.S. I'd have to look that up.
Excuse me for a moment. I have to staple the back of this because it's not gonna staple all the way through. Okay, cool. Now my computer will stop shaking. Stop shaking. Cool.
Meetups must be
I
hosted
don't
in
think
person.
anarchism. So, I agree with that because, like, threats and stuff, like calling fire in the middle of a movie theater is a terrible thing to do, and I don't think that should be legal. But I don't think that just saying the word anarchy falls underneath that in any way, shape, or form.
But see, they can get me just because they put under requirements. Meetups occur when people meet face to face in real life. So what they're basically saying is, if I'm not willing to meet with you face to face in real life, then I'm not allowed to use their website.
Well, then just say you're willing to meet with us face to face, even if you're not.
So how do they even know whether I am or not?
I
You
don't.
know what I mean? They'd have to come to my meetups to see whether I show up face to face.
It could be. I don't think that saying anarchism has a bad rap. So does liberalism. So does republicanism. So does fascism. They all have bad raps. Everything has a bad rap. Puppy!
Sure, just sit it down.
My doggy's here. I'm gonna move to be with my doggy. Give me doggy.
Meetup or groups proposed to organize for promotion of hateful or harmful or threatening or bullying behavior will be removed. And nothing, terrorism. So they decided, without reading anything on my website, that it's about terrorism. So, I mean, I didn't put nothing on the site saying we're here for anarchist principles and we're trying to promote terrorism. I didn't say shit like that. There was nothing put together on that site that suggests in any way, shape, or form that it was about terrorism. And if you put up a communist website, nobody would say that you're a terrorist.
I would. I'm kidding. I wouldn't. I would never do that.
You know what I mean? Nobody could just sit there and say, well...
is total BS, by the way. Like, the word was, like, made up in the 90s just to create fears of Islam. Like, honestly, anything could be considered terrorism. A white person shooting someone could be considered terrorism, but we don't call it that. We call it a hate crime. It's literally the same thing. But terrorism has a certain ring to it that makes people scared.
So I should just give in and just create a site, meet up Brian, and not even call them to challenge them. I mean, I'd rather call them and challenge them. What's going on, Rochelle?
But it's going to take time and effort, and is it really worth it?
That's what when people oppress you, that's what they count on. So they count on you just not making it. And my thing is, all I do is need to make one phone call. And here's what pisses me off when people like rape your rights, is you call them thinking, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, for instance, at my job, I brought in two invoices showing that that my air conditioning broke down twice within the same month or two period, twice, which is really unusual. And so I had problems sleeping because I already had problems sleeping. And they said, well, we don't take that into consideration. It's like saying your car broke down and so you just don't come to work anymore because your car broke down. You need to get another car or just quit your job. So we don't care if you had air conditioning. And I was just like, well, why do all the big people always get to just make up their own rules and say, fuck the rules, fuck the Constitution, fuck your rights? Why do people get to do that? So if I call these people and say, well, you assume the word anarchist means certain things or whatever. You don't look at what the content of my site is. You don't look at what I'm doing. You don't look at anything. You just don't like the word anarchist and decide to just block anybody who uses it. That's like somebody blocking the word atheist. Well, we think all atheists are Satanists, so we're not going to let you broadcast. That's what YouTube was doing to Jacqueline Glenn.
Yeah.
They were demonetizing anybody who had atheist in their video.
I think they still are. Pretty sure the AdSense thing is still an issue on YouTube.
We need to start fighting back.
We can't.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a constitutionalist.
We agreed to We agreed to terms and conditions, which makes us basically sign our rights away.
Well, that's what pisses me off, is that basically companies are big, they got their money, they got their power, and basically they got their lawyers who say, here's what we can do, and they find more and more ways to do what they want, to make themselves popular, make their money, and they don't really, and basically, so we have 10,000 ways to get around your freedom of speech, and you have to sign agreements, and so we can just do what we want. And it's like, well, you have it. It's like I want to write, like, you have for freedom of speech, except, and then I want to just put 5 5 or 6 pages long on my website of all the reasons why you don't have freedom of speech. It's fucking ridiculous.
The problem is stop it. Sorry. The problem is you signed a contract, so once you sign a contract, like, you're basically screwed. Sorry, my dog is being...
So I can put a contract that basically said, if I hire the right lawyers, I can hire you and say, you agree to this contract that you'll be raped every Thursday. And if I rape you, I can just say, well, it was in the contract. She signed it. I mean, how far did, so we just don't have rights because it's in the contract. Let me tell you what I think.
If it were me specifically, it wouldn't matter because I'm a minor, so it wouldn't matter whether or not I signed a contract. Hold on, I'm going to grab my computer. Ricky, do you want to go to bed? Come on. Sorry. My dog has the cutest names. Sorry, we named him Lucy and Ricky. If you're old enough to know what that means. You probably aren't. That's really sad. Okay.
A contract that has a contradiction in it is null and void, right?
Yeah, I know.
All right, so the Constitution of the United States basically says in the first article of the Constitution that you can't lay and collect a direct tax without a portion among state.
What?
The first article of the Constitution of the United States says that you cannot collect a direct tax without a portion among state. So what they did is they tried to pass income tax 100 times and it got shut down by the Supreme Court every time. So they put a 16th Amendment in. And it doesn't say it repeals the first article of the Constitution, which is the only legal way to make a change, because then the Supreme Court would have probably ruled against them. So all they did is they put a contradiction in. So I think it's the 16th Amendment that says you can lay and collect a direct tax without apportionment state. So now you got the Article 1 that says you can't collect a direct tax without apportionment. And then you got the 16th Amendment which says you can. And they just contradict each other.
It's not a
Yeah, they contradict. One says you can,
the
one says you can't.
Constitution is not a contract.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-mm. Because we don't sign it.
No, it's a contract. It's a
The
contract
Constitution is a set of laws.
16th
So the
Amendment.
latest...
It's a Bill of Rights. So, I mean...
It's not a contract. So there's a difference. A contract you have to sign and agree to with knowledge.
They did sign it. All the forefathers signed it.
Yes, the forefathers signed it because it had to be ratified. The problem...
Right, okay. So we're arguing on technicalities here. It's a contract between the government and the people. It's a social contract, exactly.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you don't look at it as a contract, then what you're basically saying is they all signed it and they all said this is what our country's based on. But hey, you don't have any rights because it's not a contract, so we're just diggling on words. I have the freedom of speech, and it's a contract. And if you break that contract and say, well, we're going to establish religion, we're going to get rid of your freedom of speech, I have the right to take you to the Supreme Court. So that means it says that you're not allowed to abridge it. And if you do abridge it, I'm going to take you to the Supreme Court, I'm going to fight it, and you're going to lose. So that's a contract because, you can use a different word if you want, but you're making an agreement, and if you violate that agreement, then there's a problem. So, and you can't have a contradiction in something like that. You can't basically just say that's why when they appealed the prohibition, I forget which amendment that is. It says we hereby repeal this amendment. So when you have an amendment that says there's a prohibition, and you say, I don't want the prohibition anymore, and everybody in America says they don't want the prohibition, you can't just put in an amendment that says it is now legal to do blah, blah, blah. You have to put the wording, I hereby repeal the amendment, number whatever, that did the prohibition. You have to mention the one that you're repealing, and you have to say you repeal it. So when you do the 16th Amendment, they didn't say we hereby repeal the Article 1 of the Constitution that says you can't collect a direct tax. That's what they should have done. And then of course they would have...
Aren't the first 10 articles of the Constitution the Bill of Rights?
What's that?
The first 10 articles of the Constitution are the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Article 1 is freedom of speech.
Do you want me to look up the part where it says they can't collect direct taxes so I can find out exactly?
No, I don't really care about that. I'm just making sure I'm not crazy.
No. I'm just saying the first article of the Constitution says you can't, but I'll look it up to find out exactly which one it is.
I'm pretty sure it's the 11th amendment, the 11th article then, because I don't know. Oh, amendments. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah.
The first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. The first article is okay. Sorry.
All
It's
right,
been a couple
so
years since I took
cannot collect direct
what like I hear like that.
taxes
Amendment one.
without a
Yeah, yeah,
portion.
yeah. I got that, Taijo.
And they know the IRS knows that they're doing wrong. I told you when I had the transcript I was reading to my viewers, where I recorded the IRS pretty much admitting that it was voluntary. They know that they're doing wrong. That's why they make it voluntary, because they know that they're doing everything they can so that it's almost impossible to go to the Supreme Court about it. They
Yep.
want to say, well, it's just voluntary, because they know they're doing wrong. They know they're a bunch of liars. Otherwise, they
Um,
wouldn't have said it voluntary.
I get the legal arguments, but I'm kind of for the income tax because I'm for government spending. Just because I myself benefit off of some federal programs because
So do it without income tax. Then we want to,
how?
you can do it. Trust me. The government has 500 programs. They spend billions and trillions of dollars on it, and the little tiny benefit you get, it's like what 1 or 2% of all the money that they're just wasting and just throwing down the toilet. So, if it basically the money that benefits you and really benefits people and is not used for hiring and bureaucracy and all that shit, if they just use the money that actually
If they don't,
benefits people and programs that actually work, you could easily cover that with regular taxes. They want the income tax so they can unlimited tax you, so they can just tax people unlimited. The reason why we rebelled against the English is because we wanted taxation. We didn't want taxation without representation, and so they made sure that they can't collect direct taxes without apportionment state. And income tax is a direct tax. It's directly taxed on you.
but
And they know it's direct. And in fact, they try to argue it
there
wasn't
is
a
that
direct
we
tax.
are represented in these taxes because we have people that we vote into Congress. However off gerrymandering might be, and I understand because I live in the most gerrymandered state in the country, I think.
To
Unless
me, I
California.
don't care whether you're for or against programs or whatever. My attitude is income tax is unconstitutional. That's it. Get rid of it. And then if you can run your programs using constitutional taxes, let's do it. That would cut waste right there. Or unless you're telling me there's no government waste. And you're like, look, Brian, there's no government waste.
There is government waste. I understand that there's government waste.
Okay, so it's just a little bit. It's nothing worth fighting for.
I don't think it's as big as people.
Oh, it's horrible. You don't want to know. You just
I
don't
mean,
want to know. Because they encourage government waste. If you have an unlimited credit card, if I give you a credit card with an unlimited credit limit, what's your motivation to not just charge that thing up to the max?
mostly guilt, but
Yeah, but you probably would get past that real quick. You wouldn't have any motivation if you had no credit limit, and if you'd probably be scared to do it at first. Then if there's no consequence, at some point you just say fuck it and start charging it, wouldn't you? And when you give the government unlimited income tax, that's an unlimited tax where they can just tax people. They can just take 100% of your check if they wanted to. That's why it's unconstitutional. They shouldn't be doing it. When you give them that unlimited thing, like a blank check is what you're giving them, they're going to abuse it. It's just bottom line.
I've kind of lost. I get your arguments, but I haven't reached that level of studying law really.
What about the lottery? I mean,
The
that's illegal
law.
too. The government knows that they're fucking with people. The government makes the lottery legal because they know if I played a lottery on you, I'm scamming you. I'm basically collecting money from all over your city, right? You're giving me $1. Everybody in your entire state is giving me $1 to $5, and I can make like millions of dollars on it. And after I've made like $10 million, I could just make my lottery $1 million, and 99% of you aren't going to get any of your money back, and maybe one of you will win, and I get to keep 90% of the profit. I mean, it's a scam. It's the worst scam there is, and that's why it's illegal. You can't do a lottery. If you did a lottery, you'd go to jail.
Yes.
But the government does it because they don't practice what they preach. They're liars, cheaters, and thieves. So they run lotteries. They run unconstitutional income tax. They don't care. we give them all the power in the world. They can do whatever they want.
Okay, come on. You're good. You got it, boy. Come on, Ricky. Okay, sorry. I had to grab my dog.
This is so bad that when I type in direct taxes without apportionment on state, so my thing on the Second Amendment is it's straight out the right to bear arms. If the government gets rid of your freedom of speech, which we're discussing how we don't have freedom of speech, so they're taking it away bit by bit, piece by piece. Between the government, the corporations, and their contracts, and the way the government gets around it, and basically calls everything treason and terrorism, if they can get rid of your freedom of speech, and they can take away your weapons, then they can pretty much declare a state law. And now you got income tax, which is unconstitutional. So now they can sit there and take 100% of your paycheck, declare a state law, you don't have any weapons to protect yourself, and they pretty much own you. Because you have no Second Amendment, so you don't have any guns to protect yourself if the government took over a state law. So you have no guns to protect you. You have no freedom of speech, so you can't speak out about it. You'll be put in jail. And the government can take 100% of your paycheck. That's what the laws are. If you say, look, I want income tax, fuck the Second Amendment, and we don't really need the First Amendment to be that strong, then what you're basically saying is the government has complete and total power. They can take away your freedom of speech. You can't speak out against it. You can't have guns to protect yourself if they declare a police state. They can literally just declare themselves rulers of you, and you don't have the freedom to say anything. You don't have the freedom to protect yourself with guns, and they're going to take all of your paycheck because income tax is legal and you're all for it. And you can't. And anybody who disagrees if you can't say anything, they'll be arrested for treason or terrorism. So I can't say anything.
Oh dear.
Yeah, if liberals get their way to the extreme that they were trying to take it, I'd be arrested just for talking to you about this, just for saying what I'm saying. And I want to have a gun to protect myself.
I feel like the problem with liberals is that there's a vocal minority.
Minority, exactly. The minority are against like the semi-automatics and shit, and then they don't.
Oh, I don't like guns. I don't like guns. I think you should be allowed to own. You should be allowed to own guns, but I don't think you should be able to carry them around, because the problem is, one of the biggest offenses I hear is that if everyone has guns, then no one will be able to commit crimes. The problem is, if everyone has guns, how do you know who's the bad guy?
So you think the Second Amendment should be taken away and basically nobody should be able to have any guns at all?
No, I think you should be allowed to have a gun to protect your home.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you should necessarily have guns out in public. I feel like that's an unnecessary danger.
I'd have to think about that hard.
Or, okay, I understand a handgun, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah, exactly.
But not like a rifle. You don't need a freaking rifle. I don't see why you need a rifle for your house.
It's unreasonable. The problem is that they take advantage of reasonable people like you, and they'll make all the arguments you're making, and you'll be like, yeah, they're on my side, Brian. Don't worry, they won't do nothing. And here's what people don't understand. You know what a precedent is?
Yes.
Okay, so what they do is, the people that do want to take away all your rights set precedents. They go over to Zoe and say, hey, Zoe, don't you think we should get rid of automatics? And do you really think people should be able to carry sawed-off shotguns and automatics and stuff on the streets? You go, no. And so they pass this law, and they use that as a precedent to pass another one and another one. And when they set up enough precedents, then they go, hey, Zoe, how about we amend the Constitution so that this, that, and the other, and they'll frame it in such a way that you're like, wow, we're just amending the Second Amendment a little. We're not really getting rid of it. But now you start chipping away at it until there's nothing left. And so they offer the reasonable shit first, and then they use that as a precedent to completely get rid of your right.
So personally, I kind of stop where the logic stops for me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I know a lot of people don't. I know a lot of people go all the way, and I see it all the time. My voice just cracked. I see it all the time with my friends. Some of my friends are crazy, and they play all their identity politics. And it's crazy. They're like, oh yeah, I'm a gender non-binary, half girl, half cat. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm for gay rights. Gays should get married. Do I think that everyone has to be gay? No. Like, I feel like moderates have just become such...
We're drowned out.
Yeah.
We're drowned out.
And, like, I express my views on identity politics, and my friends are like, wow, I didn't know you were so conservative. I'm like, I'm not. I'm a liberal. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just logical.
So when I pull up the direct tax thing on Google, apparently Google like sucks government cock, because the first thing they pull up is the 16th Amendment that basically says, "Oh, we can do what we want." They don't pull up the first article that it's contradicting. I'm like, this is the first article of the Constitution that's actually written by the people who wrote the Constitution, and instead of that being the first thing to come up, the 16th Amendment, which is nothing but raping us, which isn't even legal for them to put in there, that's what comes up.
Ricky, what do you have to say? Sorry.
Let's see. I'm trying to find it if they have
Okay.
any links that show where this actual. Here it is. Okay, so here's a clause. It's Article 1, Section 9, Clause 4. You ready?
I'm still here, I promise. Hold on. Let's see if I can turn off my.
I mean, politicians are liars.
Oh,
They're
obviously.
liars.
They lie for a little. Can you see me?
Nope.
Awesome.
Alright, so we blacked out the room.
Is that any better? Nope. Okay, Ricky,
Okay,
I need to get off my phone, baby.
So here's the Constitution that basically says that the government are bald-faced, lying, bullshit motherfuckers. And you know that it's important because, okay, you know for a fact that the United States was founded because one of the major reasons they left and created the United States is to get away from unfair taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
yeah.
The First Amendment is the most important amendment, right? So it stands to reason that if they left their country because they don't like bad taxes, and they put this as the first article of the Constitution, that this was damn important, that this article is just as important as the First Amendment is. Why'd they put it as the first article if it's not the most important thing there is? It's the very first thing in the Constitution. And what it says is, Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the states, which may be included within the Union. Article 1, Section 9, Clause 4. No captation or other direct tax shall be laid unless in proportion to the census or enumeration herein with the states to be taken. And the 16th Amendment does not say that it repeals Article 1, Section 9, Clause 4. So therefore, the 16th Amendment is not legal. You can't just put a contradiction. You have to say you're repealing it. And if they had said they were repealing it, then the Supreme Court would have been a big fight, and somebody in that Supreme Court, and it would have been a big news story, and it would have stopped. It's null and void. It's null and void. I can't have you sign a contract, Zoe, that says that I will pay you $10 an hour, and when you quit, you'll get $1,000 severance pay, and at the bottom of the same contract put, when you quit, you owe me $1,000, and I don't owe you $1,000 severance pay. Unless I put, and I hereby repeal the section that said blah, 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 or I take it out. I either have to repeal it or take that out of the contract, right? They did not. And here's my point, Zoe. When you take the amendments that they did right, if I'm wrong, then how come on the prohibition and on the slavery and so on, all the ones that they did amend, they referred to the ones they're repealing. So when they put the prohibition in the Constitution, and then they repealed the prohibition, it refers to it. It says, we hereby repeal, and it tells you what they're repealing. How come they did it everywhere else but here, if I'm wrong? I can look it up for you right now. I'm almost certain that the prohibition will say it's article whatever, amendment whatever, and then when they repeal it, they'll say, we hereby repeal that amendment.
I'm trying to think. Hold on. I think
I'll look it up.
That language.
I'm that confident. I'll look it up. I'm 100%.
No, I'm pretty sure you're right. Honestly, if I know anything about Congress, you're probably totally right.
All right, so let's say prohibition.
Hey, baby. You're such a cute baba.
Amendment.
Sorry. I love my dog. He's the best. His sister's
Your
a
dog
bitch,
is the
though.
best. And repeal. See, Google knows what I'm looking for this time. It didn't know it couldn't give to me what I wanted the first time.
That's true. Honestly, if you go to this, if you take it to the Supreme Court at the wrong time, they're going to rule in favor of the Constitution. I'm like slowly getting thinking because I'm working with bacteria in the
Here it
lab.
is. The 21st Amendment to the United States Constitution repealed the 18th Amendment. So I bet you if I read that 21st Amendment to you, it says we hereby repeal the 18th Amendment. I bet you want to bet $100?
What?
I bet you $100 that that if you read the 21st Amendment, it says we hereby repeal the 18th Amendment. That's how confident I am.
I'm a teenage girl. I don't got $100. I got $5 to buy Starbucks in the morning.
Well, my point is, if you knew I was wrong, you'd bet me.
No, I'm pretty sure you're right, just considering the fact that it's Congress and language is so important in the bills that they pass. So if they put down we repeal this act, everyone would vote against it. But if you don't say you're repealing it, then people aren't going to vote against it.
Right, so basically they snuck in something illegal. Because every time they repealed something, they repealed prohibition, they repealed slavery. Every time they repealed something, they told you what they're repealing. They said we're repealing this.
It sounds really bad to say we're repealing the first article of the Constitution.
They wouldn't have got away with it. All they did is they just snuck it. They're liars. You should be offended.
I live in D.C. I live around the politicians.
I'm just saying they had no legal
nothing
right
can
to
shock
put that.
me anymore.
The 16th Amendment is not valid because it doesn't repeal anything. It doesn't amend anything. When you repeal or amend something, you have to say, I'm hereby repealing this or I'm hereby amending this. You have to say what you're repealing or what you're amending. You can't just put a contradiction in. So it should say, this is hereby amending Article 1, Section 9, where it says you cannot collect a direct tax without apportionment, and we're saying that under these conditions we can. And if they're going to say that under all conditions we can, then we have to say we're hereby repealing it, Article 1, Section. They didn't do it because they're liars, and they have no legal right to do what they did. The FBI is going to raid me. So, I mean, do you know that that there was a period of time where they tried to sneak in one of the budget bills, some kind of Patriot Act. I don't know what they called it, but basically it was saying that they could accuse any American of terrorism just for talking too much about the Constitution. That was like a red flag for you to be a terrorist if you talked about the Constitution. And you know what I said? That was supposed to scare me.
Class in the country would be just completely nixed because that's all you talk about.
You know what I said when they did that? That was supposed to scare me. So basically, this conversation was I would never have with you. I'd just be too scared. You know what? I stood up to him. I said, okay, well, every soldier, every American U.S. Army has to take an oath that he'll swear and protect the Constitution. So if you make that law, you have to arrest every person that's ever sworn an oath to join the Army that he wants to protect the Constitution, because he's basically doing the same thing you're saying that I am for defending the Constitution as a terrorist. So if you say, if I keep talking about the Constitution, or it's unconstitutional, or income tax is unconstitutional, if I make fun of what you're doing and I say you're and I'm talking about the Constitution, if that makes me a terrorist for talking too much about it because I use the word Constitution too much, then since every American soldier has to take an oath to swear and protect the Constitution, that's the main reason why they join the Army, and that basically that you can't join without saying it. That means according to that law, if that was passed, you'd have to arrest every person who joined the Army, every person who joined the military. So fuck you. It's my opinion. Fuck you for trying to say that anybody's a terrorist who talks about the Constitution. And you got Amy Schumer, who I used to like, and she did like a whole Saturday Night Live special trying to say, some of the stuff you said about like the Second Amendment. And then then she tried to say after she tried to say the reasonable stuff like you said, then she tried to be like, okay, we need to get rid of all guns and we need to get rid of the Second Amendment, and the Constitution is just something we
popular to be way too liberal now, and I don't like it. I feel like moderation. It's popular to be way too liberal. Yeah. Like if you look at like celebrities, they're either hardcore leftists or they're just silent.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hey, why don't you express your political beliefs and like put it out there that you can be a moderate and not be a devil?
So Zoe, from our conversation, if people listened in and didn't like what we're saying, um, what some of the people, extreme type of people in our country would say about our conversation is, I'm talking about anarchy or anarchism, and we need to get a smaller government. The smaller, the better. And if we can't get rid of the government, at least follow the Constitution. And people would be like, they would say we're extremists and terrorists. So basically, what that says to me is, if you're moderate and you don't like these extremes, and you speak out and say, man, these extremes piss me off, that's how they're labeling you. They're actually labeling moderates as extremists. So the extremists
And
are
it's
saying, well,
ridiculous because we're not extreme.
because we're
It's
standing
crazy.
up against extremists. So they're like, well, that's pretty radical. That makes you extreme. You're not supporting what the most popular opinion is, so you're an extremist. And the most popular opinion, of course, is extremism. Hilarious, right?
Oh, it's great. I love it. What
What do you
time
think
is it?
about my
Oh,
joke about
Jesus
the
Christ, I
military?
have work tomorrow.
Oh,
Sorry, I
yeah.
think I'm gonna have to go.
What the hell?
So sorry.
Oh, it's almost 12:30 in the morning.
I have to be out of my house at 7:30, so like I gotta go.
All right. So when I get my meetup site set back up, you'll join that so we can get that thing going, right?
Yes, yes. I'll check for it after I leave work tomorrow, or maybe during work tomorrow, depending on if the
If
PCR
I
plate.
if I can't get it right, or I just decide I don't like what they did, I'll just put up a regular message board. The reason why I use Meetup is because I thought, oh, I can set it up so I can say, okay, say I do a broadcast where I have a guest, and I'm like, I have Cynthia Larson. I want to know how many people are going to show up to my chat, so I can tell Cynthia, oh, we have 50 people watching us or 1,000 people watching us. I wanted to use it for that way, but I have to get my money back if I don't use them.
Be quiet. Shush. Sorry.
So I'll let you know.
He's such a cutie pie. I love him.
Your dog has to sleep by 11?
What?
You said your dog has to sleep by 11?
He sleeps all day. He
Oh,
just
yeah.
doesn't sleep.
I can't wait till I can sleep in.
I wish I could sleep in. I get out of my house at 7:30 every single day, and I get home
Yep,
at 4:30.
I
It's crazy.
hate it. So my job, I think, said that I can switch my hours to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to love that.
That's gonna be fun.
Because I will be dead asleep at 10 in the morning. I'll love it. Whew. All right. I'll either set Meetup back or set up a new message board. But I want a place where me and you can just like discuss things about the website and about the broadcast. And I want to think about what we can do if I decide to. I might just say forget Meetup and get my money back. Think what we can do so I can basically. I just want to know who's coming to my broadcast. It's the only reason why I use them.
Yeah. No, I can think of something.
Okay.
Well, I'm putting up freaking well plates on my PCR
Sorry,
test.
Tiger. We're like going on and on about the Constitution, and then trying to work on my website, and then I realize what time it is.
All right, I actually have to go.
All right.
Yep. Good night.
Night to you. Whoops. So you want to help with the website, Taijo? Wow, this was not really a broadcast. This was just like a meeting where I just tried to get some of my fans to come in so I could discuss stuff. All right, so Taijo, I'll make sure that once I get Zoe in, so she can like can actually paste, actually talk on one of these message boards. Then we'll be in communication. We'll have to guest or YouNow just to have a discussion, and I'll make sure to let her know that you want to help with us too. And then we'll start trying to figure out, whatever people we get to help us. We'll start trying to figure out who does what. Because right now I'm just trying to get people. So if you want to volunteer, then I know I got 2 people, and I'm trying to get 5 or 10 people. And once we do that, we'll basically decide what needs to be done, and then people can volunteer for what they want to do. Because I want to make this a show, so I'm not just sitting in front of the camera just talking about whatever. I want to make it a show where people are like, yeah, there's a show on, and it's about this. And, you know, I want to put a format to it. So I'm actually going to call it a night because I lost sleep, and I took medication so I could breathe, and now I'm just woozy. So yeah, we're gonna set up a forum where we can discuss this stuff. I didn't realize I was gonna get it taken down, so I got to decide what to do. All right, man. You have a great night, Tyjo.